Selling inheritance can be emotional, and here's how I can help make it easier. I'm Amanda Brown, your 805 Realtor, and I'm here to go over the process of this emotional time of people's lives and families when a loved one passes away, but you inherit their home, and how I make that easier for my clients. So first of all, this is not just a regular subject about selling a home. This could have been your family home. This could have been somewhere you have a lot of memories with your loved one. So I totally understand it's a difficult time, and that's why it's very important that the sale of this particular property is done with compassion and delicately. I can relate. I lost my dad 21 years ago, just this last Thanksgiving. Luckily, my mom is still here, but I remember how difficult that was for myself, my sister, but especially for my mom. And that she did need to sell the home, and wasn't just, walls and a door and, flowers in the yard. This was our family home. As I've gone through real estate, I've had clients that have asked me to help them with this process. I'm definitely suited for it. So, but before we get to how I help with this process and everything, probably a little differently than I think the most realtors, that's what my clients said anyway, is before anyone passes on, and at whatever age you are, especially if you do have children, or if you have assets you really want to make sure that goes on to your heirs, is to set up a trust. I have dealt with properties that were in a trust and ones that were not, and the difference is huge. The benefits of a trust is that when somebody does die, that everything transfers over to the trustees very easily. The other huge benefit is that when it's in a trust, you get to inherit your loved one's a property tax amount. So most likely that's really low. When there is only a will, a written will, it will still go to probate. And don't just assume because, everything you think, will just automatically go to next of kin, your children, or your spouse. It will, but it's just not an easy process. So you're constantly being reminded of that, the sad part of them dying. And then you still have to go through probate, which can be over a year long. But at least the probate judge has a will for them to know like what that person wanted their heirs to receive. But somebody in the family can contest that. So there's that issue. Now, if there's no written will, then that is even trickier and even a longer process with the state. And then a judge does decide, really has the ultimate decision of who gets what. And it's just definitely not the way you want to go about it for your loved ones. So now let's get into what I do differently for my clients in this situation. So first, I ask the family to make sure they take out anything that they want to keep that is of value or keepsakes first. After they've done that, then I hire an estate sale company. And this is great. They come in, they price everything, they inventory everything. I've even seen where the paint cans in the garage were sold. They put it online. Usually, most of them put it online as an auction, and it's live for a certain amount of time. And then they set up a date that everyone that bought something, they come and pick it up and they haul it off. After that, then I come in and I clear the home of anything that's left over, and I make it a point to do everything I can to find a place to donate things. As you know, like Goodwill doesn't take everything, but I've found places that will take everything because I find it just heartbreaking of somebody's stuff. I don't want to see it in the trash. Even if I didn't know them, I'm sure their family feels the same way. And also, we don't need to be filling up landfills anymore anyways. So, of course, though, there will be items, depending on their lifestyle, that will have to be hauled off and thrown away. And so I call a junk removal company. They've been great. They've even come and helped me with lift things I can't do myself, and it's taken out. All right, so then the next step I do is I hire my cleaning lady. She's amazing. Comes in with her team, and she is meticulous, and she will go through that home top and bottom. While she's doing that, my son, he's 17, and he is a very hardworking guy, and he is saved me so many times with overgrown weeds and properties that have sat there for a while. Anyway, he does all the outdoor maintenance and cleanup, and then he will continue to do that during the listing while it's for sale. So now the place is looking great. It's cleaned, it's cleared out, and it's pretty much ready to be put up for sale. But while they're all doing that, I then handle meeting with the inspectors and getting the reports. Then I, email them, whatever. But again, these are all things where whoever is dealing with this, if a spouse or a daughter or son of the person that passed away, they're not having to constantly repeat that their parent died or go through that. I just know what that felt like, to having to keep saying that during that time frame of my life. It was hard. So say now we are looking at, a pest report or the home inspection, and there are some issues with the home. This is pretty common with people, elderly people, that maintenance has not been able to be kept up. So that's where I sit with the family and we go over these costs and we weigh out what is, really going to make the sale detrimental to the sale or not. I had a property where the gentleman that passed away, the father, had started putting in a bathroom. I mean, it was pretty much just the drywall was up. The insulation was laying on the floor. Like, there was nothing there, but we had to finish it. Then there'll be certain situations where I'm like, no, I don't think it's worth, repainting a whole home if we know it's a type of home that someone's going to come in, repaint, and remodel anyways. We kind of have to see, depending on the home and the situation. But I also am in close contact with a construction company. So with that bathroom situation, thank goodness I had them, and they came in and they finished the bathroom. So some questions I do get is, should they leave some furniture so it looks staged, or buyers bothered by someone passing away in the home? So to handle both those questions, I think that it is best, though, to make sure that the home has been completely cleared of all the items, because it's too personalized of that person that did pass away. And usually, elderly people's, not always, but, sometimes their furniture is not as up to date. And so I just think it's best for the home to show the best as it can, is to have it completely cleared, and then we would have to move that stuff out anyways before the close of escrow. That other question is, are people bothered by someone dying in the home? I haven't found that to be the case, and legally we need to disclose that if it's been within the last 3 years. But I have found that if myself or the seller knows that someone has passed away in the home, even if it's more than 3 years, that we feel it's a good idea to let people know. It does bother some people, but in my experience, I haven't seen that it has too much at all. So everything's done. We're ready to go, ready to list the house. And that's when I start my regular marketing plan, which would be videography and photography and social media posts, and probably doing a YouTube video to market the property so that the family can get the most out of the inheritance, because that is what their loved one wanted. So if yourself or anyone is dealing with this or in this situation, please have them reach out to me and I'd be happy to help. I'll see you in the next video.